Hi ladies, Maria here, founder of Restore Balance and Harmony. I wanted to get on today and have a bit of a chat with you girls about a client that I've just recently finished with. I think it's really important to share some of these stories with you so that you can understand the kind of things that you don't have to live with, the kind of emotions and blocks that I help women release every day. So just recently, I finished with a woman who had been struggling with anxiety for around 30 years. And it hit her early in her teenage years, and it basically affected every area of her life. It affected her relationships with her partner, with her kids. It affected her work life. It affected her ability to just get in a car and go for a drive. It affected her when she went on holidays, when she went to different events. It was a real struggle, and there were so many different layers of stuff that was there as part of that anxiety. And she came to me after watching for a number of years. She had a couple of my other past clients say, you know what, you really should do this, but she had to get to it on her own time. It had to be when she was ready to make change. And she actually reached out to somebody else who had posted a comment, another client, past client, one that she didn't actually have that close relationship with that she'd heard. And it was that third party validation that she had a chat with this other lady who said, yes, you've got nothing to lose, go and do this, it works, it's fantastic. So I guess, if you have had Creatrix, get on, put a comment, because you never know whose life you may change. Anyway, back to this lady who 30 years of anxiety. Okay, so basically we started with a list of all the things that she thought could be in relation to that, and they were under the layering. Okay, we all have layers and layers and layers of all the experiences of however many years we've been here, 30, 40, 50 years of experiences and events and everything. And we start working through these layers. So with this particular client, she not only had anxiety that we worked on, there was angry, and there was scared, and there was frustrated, and there was nervous, anxious, worried, stressed, panicked. Okay, there was a lot of things, and for some it may mean the same thing. For others, they are all absolutely different. Okay, overwhelm is another thing that she had, which is so common for so many women. There was a fear of being trapped, feeling and believing that I won't get better and this won't work for me. They were two very big, right at the top. But there are something that a lot of women have when they come to me. They've tried so many other things that they're in a place where I just don't think this can work. I'm not sure that anything can work because I've tried so many things. So, that is the first thing that I have to work with a lot of my clients, because they do think, oh my God, I don't know if this will work for me. I'm scared that it won't, and then I'll be disappointed. Disappointed is such a big thing for women as well. Just about the last 4 clients, I think, I was noting today when I worked on another woman today who had disappointed. And fear of being disappointed or disappointing others, massive. Okay, so when we worked after the first session, we did a couple of emotions. We did, let me have a look, we did suppression, we did anxious, I can't let go, and a couple of other things. Now, after we had done that, we always let the emotions settle for a week to see what comes up, see what goes down, see what's happening. Now, after that first week, she come back to me. She said, oh my God, Maria, she said, I am so depressed. I'm so sad. It wasn't on her list when we started. She said, I didn't even realize that was it. It's been so mixed up in the anxiety that she didn't realize that was even something that she had. until the anxious, we worked on anxious and we released that. Then this other stuff come up, these layers come up, and depression and sadness. So that was what we worked on next, because it had come up and it was such a shock to her that it had even been there in her DNA. You know, we worked on that. I can't find it. I was sort of going to go. And then there was loss and sadness, depression. And also we worked on guilt, which is another big thing that most women have. Okay, not everyone, but, you know, to some degree, I think majority of women, we have some kind of guilt. Okay, so after that, you know, another lot of layers, another set of, you know, up and down and releasing and settling. You know, we try to work so that, you know, whether you have a list of 30 emotions or whether there's 100, you know, we're going to try and get rid of them all in the fastest possible way. So I don't know if you know the game, what is it, Jenga or something, where there's this set of blocks and you're sort of picking out ones, trying not to make the big set of blocks fall. Well, we go and try and pull the bottom ones out so we make it fall as fast as we possibly can. We want you to get through these. We want you to get the learnings that you need, your own inner wisdom, to release these, to cut the ties with the past emotion, the painful emotions, the BS, the mindset, all of that blocks in the fastest possible way. So we're working on these layers. And generally it takes 3 to 4 sessions to really help a woman, you know, release all of those. Some women it's 2. Some women it might be 4, 3. They're all different, and it depends totally on the woman that we're working with. It is completely individual. It is her words, it's her emotions. They're worked on one at a time to get the learnings that you need to really release that from the deepest depths of your heart and soul. So, you know, with this particular client, we then worked on self-doubt. We worked on hate, which is something that most of us don't even realize we have, or we don't acknowledge it because we've been told our entire life that we're not supposed to hate. It's not ladylike to hate people. Don't say that word. It is so ingrained in us that we shouldn't hate people. But hate is an emotion, just like love or anger or frustration or anything else. It is an emotion. And to deny it is to suppress it. Now, this client didn't have hate on her list, okay? It had come up when she was going through some of these other emotions, and I noticed it there. So I thought, okay, let's just see if that's there. And the way that we do this, it's, you know, it's either there or it's not. And she got a lot of learnings around that. And when we finished, she said, wow, I had no idea that it was there, but man, do I feel good now that it's gone. Like, it was just this massive freedom, okay? You know, and it is a layering process. It is working through these things. What are some of the other emotions? Worried about everything. You know, I have a lot of clients, we just worry about everything. Scared. You know, there was a fear of traveling, a fear of being lost, a fear of all sorts of things we had on this list. And I feel like I'm going mad. Now, I was talking to a lady today who said the same thing. I feel like I'm going mad. So these are all emotions. They're things that we've heard before. We've heard other people say, or perhaps someone saying, you're going mad, you're crazy, you're acting mad, you're being mad, you're being crazy. And if we hear it often enough and we say it often enough, it burns into the brain, and it just makes it more so. It burns into our neural pathways, and all of a sudden it's truth. Okay, so, you know, when I was working with this client, you know, we're going through and we're unlayering all of this stuff. You know, that was just a few of the emotions that we worked on that were on her list. The list was longer. We didn't work on all of them because, you know, through this layering process, we're releasing them, these inner wisdoms, And Creatrix, it is a wisdom gaining technique. It is you getting back to getting your own learnings from inside of yourself. You have the ability to heal yourself. You need a bit of help to do that, but it's all inside of you. This is the point. It is all inside of you. And nobody can tell you what you need to know. It comes from within here. So if you're learning at a conscious level, you know, it's always going to be a constant working at things to keep doing that conscious thing, like affirmations. You have to say it over and over and over again. I was, you know, watching something the other day and a woman said she'd been saying the same affirmations for 30 years. Man, that's a hard way to do life. It is, if it's the only thing you know, then yes, of course. But if you knew a way that you could spend, you know, 6 weeks, 3 weeks, between 3 and 6 weeks, you know, it'll all depend on you and your emotions and your learnings and how you go through all of this. If you could spend that time and have that installed back into your subconscious, it's always been there, it's been in here in your heart and soul, in your subconscious, but you need to reinstall it because there's been so much crap that is just weighing it down and blocking it. So you've unlearned, or it's still there, you're just not listening to it. You can't hear it for all the other noise. Okay, so when I got, every single time when I finished each session with this client, she felt better and she felt better and she felt better. And oh my God, I got a message the other day saying, Maria, I feel so good. This is the best I've felt. I can't even remember. I feel calm, I'm relaxed, I'm happy, and I'm content. So this is a woman who had 30 years of anxiety. I'm content, I'm calm, relaxed, and happy. I really thought that was worth sharing because you may be struggling. You may, and it may not be anxiety, it could be other stuff that you have. But what do you have to lose by having a conversation and finding out if this might work for you? Get rid of your insecurities. Get rid of your anxiety. Is it depression? Is it sadness? Is it grief? Is it guilt? You know, what is it that's going on? Is it success blocks? I'm so afraid of being judged, of being criticized. I'm so afraid of being rejected. You know, if we go back and we think about history and the fact that epigenetics is studied, that we have all of that past emotion attached to our genes and passed down through, rejection and being judged and all of those led to death if we go back far enough through history for women at one point in time. It was bad. If you were judged, then, you know, you were either locked up in the house or you were, you know, killed for being a witch and all sorts of other things, you know, throughout history. We have had centuries of suppression, and this is why we're all so stressed. It is why disease is running rampant through our systems. We are living such a fast-paced life, and we're stressed and we have emotion on top of emotion on top of emotion, and it is literally causing ill health in our body. That's why there's so much cancer, you know, everything. It's related to not just our food, it's a part of it, what we eat, but what we feel as well. Okay, our emotion is very, very important. It is important for us to understand and know and to want to release this stuff. Why do life the hard way if you can have peace and joy and calm and relaxed and contentment? I came up with some, I don't know whether anyone's ever said it before, but when I was working with this client this morning and she was going through and talking about all of these emotions, I said it's like trying to swim through sand. Okay, it is just impossible. When you have so much baggage, you know, it's like trying to swim through sand. Why would you try to continue to do that if you could know in just a couple of weeks you could be floating in crystal clear blue water? How much easier would life be to float than to try and swim through sand? And you can't swim through sand. It's impossible. But, you know, it's just something that sort of resonated. You know, it is so hard. We carry so much baggage. And there is something that is so easy. It is so fast. It's so painless to help you become your best version of you, to be living your best life, to continue this journey of becoming who you were always meant to be. So, if you want a conversation, you want to know more, you want to just have a simple chat to see if it's possible that this could be for you, then reach out. What do you have to lose? Ask yourself, what do you have to gain? And if not now, when?